My name is Lance Daniel M. Lopez, but in this form, I am most commonly known as the Pixel. And this is my hero's story. When I was a child, I appeared to be cheerful and carefree. But deep inside, I was not all of that. I was the exact opposite. I depended on my parents' help. I went wherever they would go. Since they were religious, this formed me to have faith in God and set Him as my role model. I brought this learning as I go explore the world beyond my comfort zone, since I am a fresh graduate at that time. But this all changed when I received the letter when I got back to my parents' home. It seemed to be a letter coming from the military, since my father was part of the force. I opened the envelope and I was devastated. They want me to join their forces to fight in the upcoming war. My emotions were all over the place, since I did not want to be part of the front line. But I remember that the evident emotion was fear and sadness. I went to the roof to shout and shout to my heart's content. I opted to play games since it was my hobby and the best coping mechanism. I played and played all day and all night until a problem happened. Sleep deprivation caught up with me. My parents were mad at me. They said that I cannot go near my computer ever again if I haven't collected my thoughts and reflected on my decisions. So, I decided to go out, but at that time, it was about to rain. I opted to sit it out and reflect on my decisions and past actions. As I was about to sit, I saw a laptop that appeared out of nowhere. I got curious about it and decided to play with it a little, since I have nothing better to do. But then, I lost consciousness. It was a transportation device that I never knew about. At that time, I only remembered that there was a man who seemed to be a mad scientist. He was mute and was always excited about things. He said that I was the chosen one for his experiments. He asked me if I liked to become someone or something else. This meant that I can have morphing powers. I said yes, because when I was young, I imagined myself to become another person or to become something else, was to let me decide what to transform into. He gave me 3 decisions. The first were video game characters. The second were humans. And the third were animals. I naturally went for the video game characters, since that was the only thing that kept me interested in picking. He lastly said the weaknesses of this power. He said that I needed a cartridge to transform, and that I was vulnerable to an identity crisis. I said, sure, because at that moment, I didn't have the ability to think straight. He gave me the cartridge and went on our separate ways. After all that, I woke up and felt confused. I recalled some of the things that happened during that trip. And I knew that at that moment, I have the power to change into video game characters with that cartridge. At the same time, there was another event that happened. There was a malfunction in transporting me back to the real world. It was the birth of my arch nemesis, who was my alternate self and ready to fight me. Well, the rest was history.